Kilo Code is the free, open-source AI coding agent that runs inside VS Code, JetBrains, and your own terminal. And this is the 6-step walkthrough that shows you exactly how to set it up. The surprise in the official docs and the community threads is that 4 of these 6 steps work flawlessly. No config, no drama. But the other 2 hide real gotchas that can freeze your agent mid-task or scramble your API keys across projects. Step 1 is the CLI, and according to official docs, it's genuinely one command. npm install kilocode clat. That's it. No dependency chain, no separate runtime download, just a single global install that puts the kilo command on your machine. Type kilo, and it opens a full terminal UI, an interactive TUI that works in remote and automated environments even without a graphical interface, which matters if you're setting this up on a headless server or inside a container. From there, you run connect to hook up your provider credentials, and once that's done, you're pulling from over 500 models at whatever rate your provider charges. There is one documented catch worth knowing before you start. Older CPUs without AVX instruction support need a separate baseline binary, which official docs point you to on GitHub releases instead of the standard npm package. For everyone else, this step works exactly as documented, and your first generated snippet is minutes away, not hours. So if your first install throws an error on an older machine, that's the fix, not a broken install. I went through KiloCode's official documentation, the VS Code marketplace listing, and the GitHub discussion threads where actual users hit these exact walls, so you get the real setup experience, not the marketing version. If the terminal isn't your thing, the extension route is even smoother. Search KiloCode in the VS Code marketplace, click install, and according to the official listing, this extension already has 1/468,875 installs, which makes it the most used way people are actually running this tool. The extension ships with its own embedded runtime, so you don't need the CLI installed separately just to use it inside your editor. Log in with Google or GitHub credentials, connect a provider, and you're back to that same 500+ model catalog from step 1. One of the biggest problems I run into when using AI agents is turning their output into YouTube content I can actually use to market my product. That's why this video is sponsored by Subscriber, a tool that helps business owners connect their AI agents to YouTube and market their products without spending 10 hours every week creating content. You can connect Claude or ChatGPT directly to Subscriber. It then analyzes your business, website, and YouTube channel to help you create SEO-optimized video ideas, scripts, thumbnails, and even complete videos that actually match your brand. What I like most is that every week, Subscriber gives me a list of high-potential video ideas I can immediately execute, and it can even help edit videos for me, with or without my face, including videos like the one you're watching right now. It's easy to get started, and you can try Subscriber for free using the link in the description below. Now back to the video. Official docs confirm this same extension works across VS Code, Cursor, Windsurf, and JetBrains, so switching editors later doesn't mean starting your setup over. Both installs, the CLI and the extension, are marked as working exactly as documented. No caveats, no gotchas, no community complaints on this one. That number matters because it tells you the extension path is the well-worn one, the one most people default to, and the one with the most eyes checking for bugs. Here's where KiloCode actually differentiates itself because official docs confirm support for more than 30 providers split across cloud, local, and gateway categories. The built-in Kilo provider needs zero configuration. You can start generating code the moment you install, before you've decided on a long-term provider at all. Once you're ready to bring your own key, BYOK means zero markup on model costs. You pay exactly what your provider charges. If you want a custom OpenAI compatible endpoint, official docs walk you through selecting OpenAI compatible, setting a base URL, pasting your key, and choosing a model ID with context windows up to 128,000 tokens, depending on the model you pick. And if privacy is the priority over speed, community reports confirm local models through Ollama or LM Studio work well. They're just slower than a hosted API call. Every single path here, built-in, BYOK, custom endpoint, or local, works as documented or as community confirmed. This is the strongest step in the entire walkthrough. This is where the walkthrough hits its first real gotcha. The core feature works. You can prompt the agent in plain English and it generates a working shell script, renaming a batch of files, running installs, whatever the task calls for. Official docs describe a plan act, observe, fix loop that handles multi-step workflows, installing dependencies, running tests, editing files, with your approval required at each step along the way. But community reports flag something the docs don't fully prepare you for. The agent terminal can hang mid-execution, and there's no clear, documented exit path when it does. If you're automating a task that needs to run unattended, know that you may need to babysit it the first few times until you understand your own exit strategy. Users on GitHub discussions describe having to terminate the agent mid-chat because they couldn't find a clean way to close what's called the agent terminal. That's community reported, not an official acknowledgement, but it shows up often enough to be worth flagging before you start relying on this for anything time-sensitive. Stick with me, because the last 5 tests are where this decision actually flips. Step 5 brings back the clean working experience. The default code agent gets full tool access, writing features, fixing bugs, making real edits. Ask is read-only, built for explaining unfamiliar code without touching anything. Plan is also read-only, but allows restricted edits, so you can sketch architecture before committing to changes. Debug gets full tool access again, aimed specifically at systematic troubleshooting. On top of those 4, there's Orchestrator mode, which breaks a complex task into subtasks and routes each one to a specialist, and Architect AG. Kilo code ships 4 built-in agent modes, and official docs lay out exactly what each one is for. Next up is manage multiple isolated Kilo instances without config conflicts. The test that quietly decides whether the rest of this comparison even matters. On manage multiple isolated Kilo instances without config conflicts, neither one ran away with it once the workload got real. So manage multiple isolated Kilo instances without config conflicts lands as a tie, and the scoreboard barely moves. Here is where Kilo code clearly pulls ahead of the field. Now, here is where the second pick clearly pulls ahead. Pick the one whose single biggest strength matches the job in front of you today. One thing the docs never spell out will quietly cost you if you miss it. If this helped, the next breakdown on the channel goes even deeper.